All right. Well, hopefully we get some people here. Oh. Gonna give it a second, see if anybody shows up. And I'm gonna talk about some Armorson. Let me share this out to a group real quick. Oh, what the hell? I'll share it out to a really big group and see. See if they want me in there or not. We'll see. All right. Well, so what I wanted to do is talk about this weekend's events. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Rick Laton for allowing us to pull in his house, at his house. The man's a legend. As far as I know, he's got national titles, et cetera, et cetera. He's been pulling for 3 decades. So the guy's a real awesome guy, real sweetheart of a guy. He allowed us to come to his home and hold our super matches, mostly amateur stuff, some newer pro stuff. Nothing like elite level, but still good, for up and comers. I'm one of those big believers that anybody who's in the sport is helping grow the sport, so therefore they should be welcomed, kind of deal. So anyway, yeah, Mr. Rick Laton, thank you so much for letting us pull at your house. I want to thank Nick Johnson for putting the whole super matches together, the whole event together. It was awesome. He did all the legwork, or a lot of it. Damian Schlosser, who's really starting to make a name for himself here in North Carolina as well. He helped out a little bit, but it's going to be, North Carolina is really doing well. I think there's a lot of new talent coming up. I think there's a lot of up and comers that could potentially, become great. Nick is one of those people. If he really applies himself and kicks some ass. Damien's another one. Hell, we got the American version of Pork Chop. He's already amazing. In a practice pull, he's already got a pin on Michael Todd. Said left-handed, not right-handed, left-handed. And then I can't remember the guy's name, but one of the guys that was there at Rick's house this weekend as well, in a practice pull, also has a pin on Devon Larratt, left-handed. So I mean, there's some serious talent there, and it was awesome to be around it. It was awesome to be a part of it, and it was awesome to pull. Now, as far as me personally, I had 2 super matches. I had a best of 5 right-handed, best of 5 left-handed against the same guy with Mr. Robert Black out of South Carolina. And as far as I'm concerned, not making excuses, Robert's right hand is ready for pro. I've only got 4 months into this. My wife is my biggest fan. She says, I can't wait to see where you are at when you hit your 1-year mark. Me either. I hope it's good. I hope, my trajectory is a steep one. But Robert's right hand felt amazing. I mean, he just rolled right through my wrist, right through my hand. I had no containment. When we did, it's learning, right? I'm learning. I'm 4 months into this. I'm learning. He did this cool little trick where, you You kind of bunch up you pinch your thumb or pinch the opponent's thumb, and you pinch right up against the inside of your knuckle, which stops the roll. Once we got into the straps, I didn't fight for the straps hard enough. When I finally did get in the straps, he did that. I should have seen it coming. I didn't. I mean, I saw that he was doing it, but I didn't realize how much that affects the pull. It's not like he cheated. It's up to me to get what I want in the setup. Okay, it's not up to the refs. It's not up to Robert. It's up to me. And like I said, I knew he was doing it. I didn't know enough to stop him, and I didn't realize how much it was going to affect the pull. And once we got in the straps, again, I had no containment. Now I'm a lot stronger in the straps than I am out of the straps, and I still had absolutely no containment on him, and he took me straight down. So no excuses. Robert was the better man, absolutely. Now on the left hand, it all came down to experience. I feel I am stronger, and from what Robert said, he said I'm also stronger in my left hand than he is, which is shocking because I really don't care about left-handed pulling. It's just that I'm competitive. So, it was like, what the hell? I might as well pull both hands. But, no offense to you lefties out there. But yeah, I was stronger than him left-handed, but he out arm wrestled me. Did the same thing, tuck those knuckles up real tight, or tuck those fingers up real tight against my knuckles. And, he was able to make it a match, and he won 3-2. So hats off to you, Robert Black. You did fantastic. You schooled me. You showed me a lot. I learned a lot. A lot of matches went, good. Some, not so good. There was Brandon he pulls with us all the time. He was out there. He pulled against Donnie. Donnie's a great guy. Real fiery on the table, screaming in your face and all that. It was awesome. Brandon beat him in the setup on the first pull, and floored him. And I think Donnie's the stronger guy, and Brandon just absolutely pinned him quickly, just right down on the mat. And then, matches 2, 3, and 4, man, Donnie just learned. He learned on the spot and fought for his setup and just got the better of the setup and was able to use his advantages. And I got to pull him in an after pull, and for a smaller guy, man, he is powerful. It was really good to feel him pull, and I could see why he was such a threat to Brandon. Styles make matches, right? I mean, so it was awesome. Nick did very well. And by the way, if you want to see any of these, you can go to Nick Johnson AW on YouTube, and he has them all up, all the super matches. So, and I believe he put a playlist in Arm Wrestling Discussion Group, so anybody around the world can see them at any time. So I would appreciate anybody's feedback on any of the matches. I know Nick did really well right-handed against a really strong dude. I think I can't remember the guy's name that he went up against. I'm sorry. I just met all of these guys. I pull with Nick all the time. I pull with Brandon all the time. And I know Donnie from the previous tournament I was at. So, I knew some of the guys, but I just met a lot of the guys. But anyway, Nick went up against this guy right-handed, did very, very well. I think his opponent had some sort of injury on his wrist. So I don't think that's an excuse. I think that he was just not at 100%, or Nick might have caused the injury. I don't know. Left-handed, though. Nick is a lefty. And this dude just went right through him. It was amazing to watch. It really was. It was amazing to watch. They keep saying there's levels to this shit. Nick went up against Matt. Thank you, hon. It is about learning. She still has the lineup list. It is about learning new techniques and utilizing them. Absolutely. It's more about angles than anything else. Yes, strength is a big part of this, but angles are a huge part of it as well. Technique, table IQ. And I'm still getting there. Now I study a lot. So, I mean, it's up here, but I haven't made the brain to hand connection yet as far as where my knowledge is, where it transfers to the table. Now, with that said, I think pretty much all of North Carolina, as far as the people that I either pulled against or with, are going to be going to the Southeast Regionals, which is at the end of June 26th. I'm going to be pulling amateurs, right-handed only, super heavyweight because, I'm a fat body. But we're going to work on that too, coming up here shortly. But anyway, Oh, Jesus Christ. My daughter is currently dipping her sleeve into the dog dish and sucking on her sleeve. Maybe she's thirsty. I don't know. Gotta love kids. But anyway, we're going to pull it in Southeast Regional. I think it's going to be awesome. An awesome experience. Table time is always an awesome experience. I feel like that's the best experience. I'm blown away by how many levels there are to this, right? Like, I really am blown away. I'm only 4 months into this journey. I'm sore. Let me see if I can get this on camera or not. I've got bruising in here. It's not really sore here at all. I'm bruising right there. And bruising on the other side as well. Let me get it. There you go. Yeah, that one's a lot worse, but it doesn't hurt. Like, it really doesn't hurt at all. So I don't think there's any damage there. I think it's just, either busted blood vessels from pinning, because I did a lot of after pulling. Like, that was the thing. After we got done with our super matches, and we spent probably 2.5, 3 hours after pulling, and I got to, lock up with just about everybody there. I think actually Porkchop and Rick were the only two people I didn't lock up with. There I really got to see where I've come since my first tournament. My first tournament was at the end of February this year. And, I went 2-1. 1-2. I beat one guy and I lost against two. And one of the guys that beat me was there, this weekend. And I pulled him and, yes, we were both slightly diminished. We weren't fresh, etc. Because he had a super match. I had a super match, but there was a huge difference between the way I pulled him this weekend and the way I pulled him at the tournament. And I could see a personal growth there. I came out on top for this weekend. Now that means that we're going to have a super match to figure out who's actually top dog on between the two of us. Yeah. My wife said I was so wide open on the first tournament, and I was. And even this weekend, when I got into deep water, so to speak, and I felt that I was being compromised. Instead of staying tight and trying to figure out a lane, I resorted to, getting open, and not really a king's move or an open top roll, but definitely getting outside of my strongest angles. And I resorted to that, and it's not the way to go. You want to stay tight. Oh, there you are, Isaac. I didn't want to. Cool. I'm glad Isaac's here. Yeah. So Isaac and I did have a good practice match. I think we did 3 outside the straps and 2 inside the straps. And yeah, sure, this weekend went my way, but that doesn't mean anything. Practice table is practice table. But there was definitely a difference in the way he felt to me and the way I felt to him. And like I said, that made me feel good. There was definitely a growth shown on my part from February, the end of February to now, so I felt really positive about the results there. And for everybody else that's watching, that's not me talking down on Isaac. He's still a strong son of a bitch, and it's going to be a great match when we do actually have our super match. So I just want, because I know those in the arm wrestling community, you're going to know better, right? That I'm not talking down, but there's other people that follow me because I do political stuff and all of that. For those of you that are watching this that are not in the arm wrestling community, when I say that, I got a positive result, or I felt growth on my end, or I got the better of somebody, it's not me talking down on that person. It just means that I was the better person at that moment in time. Isaac can come back tomorrow and whoop my ass, so it is what it is. I'm not one of those arm wrestlers that has to sit there and brag and brag and brag. It was a good weekend. I really got to see where I stood in that room. I think the guy who beat Isaac right-handed was the only guy as far as an amateur level that I couldn't beat on the practice table. So, I stood up pretty tall as far as the amateurs go in that room. There wasn't a pro that I could touch. Not yet. And like I said, Robert Black might be still an amateur, but I consider him, if he is, he's going to be at the very top of amateurs, and I would say sort of on the bottom rung or the starting step of pro on his right hand. So yeah, it gives me something to shoot for. And as far as I know, I have a rematch probably somewhere end of summer, early fall with him, both hands. And he asked for the one on the left. So while he did, I said, well, then can I get one on the right? I said, so we both said yes, and we're going to make it happen. So that's going to be pretty awesome. It'll also show what this summer of hard work is going to do for me, because I'm going to be working my ass off to make sure that I get better. And, we're going to see when I lock up with him again, is there going to be something different, or is he just going to be that much better than me again? Who knows? Left-handed, I'm going to say it right now, I fully expect to beat him. And that's not me being arrogant. I just know what I allowed to happen. I know what I did wrong. And I know that there was a whole lot more strength that I had that I could have tapped into. Right-handed, actually, it's the complete opposite. I practice pulled Robert after the matches, and he actually felt stronger. I went into a full press. I had him like 2 inches off the pad, and he ripped right through my shoulder. So for anybody who doesn't know arm wrestling, when you get your skeletal structure behind you, it's so much harder for somebody to be able to beat you, let alone rip through you. And he did it without even, it was just straight side pressure. And I was like, it actually hurt. I had to let go. I had to open my shoulder up real quick and just let him take me, because it was that fast. And I was pretty impressed. He actually felt a lot stronger on the practice table than he did on the super match, which is funny, right? Because I was talking about styles make matches. Nick was really gassed, so was Damien and all of that. And I had been pulling a lot after the super matches. So my right arm was pretty gassed too. Actually, both of my arms were. And Nick can destroy me, and I mean destroy me, fresh v fresh. When we're both stepping up to the table fresh, he can absolutely run right through me, and I won't even slow him down. But yet I was able to just comfortably hold him when he was gassed, right? So does that mean that he gasses quicker than me, or when he gasses more completely than me? I don't know. Or it could just mean that my hand and wrist are more of a threat to his hand and wrist when he's gassed, right? It could just mean that. But yet he was able to hold my opponent comfortably, even while he was gassed. But yet my opponent felt even stronger after the match. It's weird how this game works. It really is. Like I said, styles make matches. And yeah, Robert Black's style to me felt more threatening than Nick's when I was weakened and Nick was weakened. Then Robert felt to Nick. You know what I mean? It was weird. It's just weird how this game works. But I got a lot of tips. I got a lot of energy. I strongly believe in what Devon says. Every hand that you can lock up with, every arm that you can pull against, you're gathering energy. And so are they. But you're gathering energy. You're gathering a database in your brain, and it builds your neural pathways, and it's awesome. It was a fantastic day. I'm beat up. I'm sore. I just got done with doing a workout. Lightweight, very, very lightweight. It's my second one. I did therapy workout yesterday. I did another workout today, pretty much just blood flow and therapy. Started incorporating more, pronation and riser work and all of that today, whereas yesterday was all biceps. And it still sucks. I'm still beat up pretty bad. This is definitely the worst I've beaten myself up since the tournament in February. I've had plenty of hard practices between those two dates, but this is the most I've arm wrestled ever in my life. It was actually on Saturday. We arm wrestled. We got there at 12:30. We started the matches at 1:00. I probably didn't pull until closer to 2. So you figure 2:00. I pretty much arm wrestled nonstop from, let's say, 2:30 to about 4:30. So 2 hours straight. I was just hopping from table to table, right arm, left arm, whatever, but just pulling. Not much break in between. So that was the most I've arm wrestled in my entire life. And yes, I'm beat up, but I feel good. I feel good. I feel healthy sore. I don't feel like injured. So, as far as the path forward for me, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to continue, training and getting tougher, and stronger. And I'm going to get as much table time as I can. My wife might be getting into arm wrestling, which would be amazing. And honestly, having a training partner in the house that you can hop onto the table and do therapy work with, or some hard pulling with, that you don't have to worry about getting together with you guys and all that, and you don't have to kill yourself doing it, that's fantastic. I can't wait. I hope she does. She's got a good base strength, I feel, for a woman. I think that she's going to do well. We'll see what happens in the future. This summer sounds like it's going to be really busy for me. I'm going to be pulling, like I said, at the end of this month or at the end of June in the regional. Yeah. Well, I didn't want to say that until I got the first table going, but yes, we're going to start building tables, here at the house. And, once one is done, I will do a video on it. I will show it. I'll try to have all the boys over so that we can do a practice on it. So you can see it does hold up. And we're going to go from there, because I have one behind me that I just got. I'm not going to mention the brand name, and I don't want you to either, honey. I just got one. And to be honest, I feel like, for the price that I paid for it, I could do better. And coming up soon, Etches of Sketches will be starting the Freedom Sale on all products. And if you didn't notice, I have it up in the corner. There it is. I have it up in the corner. Etchesofsketches.com. My wife does glass etchings and wood burnings and custom stuff. That includes, for arm wrestling. Like if you want a picture of you, she doesn't do portraits per se, but it would be you standing there, with your arm up or doing your typical arm wrestling pose, or, two hands locked up or whatever. You can do that. If you have a nickname, she can do that on a glass or wood or whatever. But anyway, I honestly didn't do this to plug either one of us. We'll get into that. There's no doubt about it. Let's end this with this. Oh, that's right. She can Mod Podge pictures onto wood. So yes, you can actually have a picture of yourself. Let's end it with this. All right. And I appreciate you guys' feedback on this, as far as whether or not you think I should do more of these, more training videos, workout videos, whatever. But anyway, let's end it on this. My predictions for this upcoming weekend. And for those of you that don't know, this upcoming weekend is quite possibly the most important match of this year, maybe this decade. I mean, I know that sounds like complete hyperbole rhetoric, whatever, but it is. It really is. It's going to be the end of the trilogy between Michael Todd and Devon Larratt. And it's going to be happening in Dubai, 1 o'clock Eastern time, United States time, 9 o'clock PM Dubai time. It's on pay-per-view. I've already got mine. They're doing really good. You can stake your opponent. And I'm not getting any money from Devon or Michael or Armbet or anything like that. I'm not getting any money for saying this. I just believe in what they're doing, and I believe in what Larry's doing. Larry Wheels is a strong man, a bodybuilder. He's more of a strong man than a bodybuilder. But anyway, he's got a bodybuilder physique, but he's as strong as a strong man. So in my opinion, he's better than a bodybuilder, because bodybuilders don't necessarily have to be strong. They just look really, really good. Whereas Larry is legit elite, world-class strong. And he looks really, really good. But anyway, he just got into arm wrestling about a year ago, and he's touched hands with literally the who's who of the world's best arm wrestlers. And he's gotten to do that in his first year, which I am so envious of. And it's just awesome for our sport. Yeah, that's true. That's true. My wife says she thinks regardless if anybody else watches them, I should do them as a record of my own journey. And you never know for anyone starting out that comes across the videos how much it might help them. It's true. True. In any case, my predictions for this weekend. I believe that Devon and Larry and Coach Ray are the underdogs. And let me explain why. Michael Todd is in peak form. As far as physically goes. He's 48 years old, and he has never looked better in his career. He's always had a physique, but he's never looked better. He's never looked stronger, even by his own words. He is the strongest he's ever been. He's the healthiest he's ever been. So, yeah, he's the best version of Monster Michael Todd that we have ever seen. And I don't think it's just, trash talk for the fight. I think that's the truth. Now, with that said, I know I'm gonna make some enemies here, but he does have a slight advantage, in my opinion, of being able to not pull your arm past here. I know. When he's in a Kings move, he's not actually on the bone lock. At least that's what he says and his fans say. And believe me, I'm an American patriot. I really am. And Michael's from America. And normally I'd be pulling for, and I think he's a great guy. And I think Rebecca's a great a woman. That's his wife. I think they're doing awesome things. And I am a fan of Michael's. But I have to say that in this case, I'm rooting for Devon, because Devon, to me, is the more complete arm wrestler. Devon, to me, he may not be the strongest arm wrestler between the two, and I don't think he is. I think he's strong, no doubt, but I don't think he's stronger than Michael. But I believe that Devon has all of the tools. I believe that he has any lane that he wants. You know, I'm not saying that every lane will work, but what I'm saying is he's got enough tools in his toolbox that if there is a lane, so if Michael is beatable on that day, Devon will find it, or has the tools to find it. So yes, I am rooting for Devon on Saturday. I hope it's a war either way. It can go either way. I personally see it going 4-2 Devon, just like their first meetup in Arm Wars. I believe it's going to go 4-2 Devon, and that's my prediction. It's not the first time I'd be wrong if I'm going to be wrong, but I hope I'm right. I believe it's going to be 4-2 Devon. As far as Larry and Schoolboy by far is the better arm wrestler. Schoolboy is the physically larger man, meaning that he's 6'5", 6'6". He's actually probably just as heavy as Larry, maybe a little bit heavier. Is he stronger? No, absolutely not. But he's got the levers, he's got the knowledge, he's got the experience. Now, I think he has everything to lose only because of his fans. Schoolboy, I've never even heard him speak on camera. So I can't say that he's arrogant or anything else like that. I've never even heard him talk on camera. All of his fans, though, if you go to his page, they believe the man can't be beat. Like, cannot be beat. Even though he just got beat in the Russian Junior Nationals. I mean, I think he placed second, which is no joke. He did really, really well. But, you know, he can be beat. So, and he's had his wrist taken, which his wrist is strong as hell. And he had his wrist taken a couple of times. So Larry is definitely the physically stronger person. There's no doubt about it. And I have to say that I don't see enough people that are talking about this match going back to when Khaled faced Schoolboy. When Khaled faced Schoolboy, Khaled had a death grip on this dude's arm. And when it was out of the straps, Schoolboy was trying to slip with everything he had. And you know, that was the only avenue he had. He could not beat Khaled outside of the straps. You go back and watch the video, you tell me if I'm wrong, but he could not hold on to Khaled at all. Once they got in the straps, then Schoolboy was able to give him a much better match. But if I'm not mistaken, Khaled did beat Schoolboy. Now, practice table, right? It wasn't an actual match, but you could tell both of them were trying. So, you know, we could talk about practice table all we want, but it was as fair of a setup in a practice table as you can get. And it was aggressive on both ends. Larry can beat Khaled relatively easy now. That's my feeling anyway. So I'm thinking that, yes, obviously Schoolboy is going to be improving, but I'm thinking that Larry has definitely got the tools in his toolbox to make this a major upset. So yes, I'm on Team Devon. I'm on Team Larry. As far as Coach Ray versus the UAE champion, and I'm not going to butcher his name, I think that Coach Ray is going to lose that match, although if he can press through quickly enough, he may catch him off guard a couple of times. But the UAE champ is a very, very slick arm wrestler. He can stay inside, but yet run away from you at the same time. It's incredible how he works, and he doesn't know the word quit. So I think that's going to be another great match, but I think that the UAE champ has the edge over Coach Ray, even though it's going to be a good match. Either way, arm wrestling is growing. It's blowing up. It's becoming a lot more mainstream. The purses are getting better. Armbet.net is amazing. So thank you, Devon, for that. Hope I didn't ramble on too long. Thank you guys for everything. And as far as arm wrestling followers that I might be gaining from this, I'll do my best to to do these on a semi-regular basis. I'll upload our practices, our super matches, etc., or point you to where they are on film. Jesus, I just dated myself. But anyway, you get my point. I'll point you to where they are. And as far as my other followers, for political reasons or whatever, I'll be doing one probably tomorrow on some political stuff. But anyway, I thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you for all the support and the feedback. I hope I get some feedback. Thanks. God bless. Stay safe. And just get strong.